पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। Today we are beginning this wonderful, profound text, or we can say literary work, and which is attributed to the king, the great king Bhartrihari, and the topic is universal dharma. Universal dharma is samanya dharmas. Yeah? Now, about this great king Bhartrihari, not much is recorded or known about him, other than he was a king of what is present day Ujjain, and he was the elder brother of the king Vikramaditya, and he was a great Shiva Bhakta. No? But like when exactly he was born, probably before the time of Shankaracharya. Yeah, that is known. And later, this king renounced the throne and became a sannyasi and a poet. Yeah. So there are these three Shatakams attributed to Bhartrihari. Yeah. One is the Shringara Shatakam, 100 verses, and that is about the Kama pursuit, pleasure, the intimacy in relationships, about love, and those are the compilation called the Shringara Shatakam. Then the Neeti Shatakam is 100 plus, actually more than 100, wonderful shlokas, gems, and which are highlighting the nuances of dharma. So Neeti Shatakam covers Artha and Kama. Artha and Dharma pursuits. Yeah. Now, Artha is a very visible, tangible wealth for us, is it not? Solid assets, liquid assets, property. And Dharma is Adrishta Punyam. It is an invisible wealth. So both come under Artha and Dharma, we club together. And then the third Shatakam is from which in the Vedanta classes we quote quite a lot. That is the Vairagya Shatakam. And we know that Viveka is the gateway and the password to moksha. So the third Shatakam addresses the fourth Paramapurushartha, that is moksha. So these three Shatakams, it's called Shatakatrayam. This addresses the fourfold Purusharthas in life. And all the three have been composed by this sage, sannyasi, Bhartrihari. Okay. Now, in the north, in schools where Sanskritam is a subject, then children actually study this at a very young age, Neeti Shatakam. Just like in Tamil schools, we have Tirukural. Same thing, the content is same. Only this is only 100 shlokas, and Tirukural is how much? 1330 something. But here also, these 100 shlokas are divided into paddhatis. Paddhati means sections. Durjana Paddhati, Sajjana Paddhati, Vidhi Paddhati, and Vidya Paddhati, and Murkha Paddhati. How does one define a Murkha? And what is the characteristics, Lakshanas of a Murkha? That is the first Paddhati in this compilation. Yeah. Now, so these verses, 100 plus, they contain profound wisdom. And when we study these shlokas, they are like subhashitams, and memorize them and contemplate upon them, They are like guiding us through life, and very practical wisdom which we can apply in day-to-day life. Yeah, that is the beauty of these verses. Now, coming back to Neeti Shatakam, it is about Samanya Dharma. What is Dharma, first of all? A very loose translation will be ethics. Yeah, it is not just ethics. Dharma here means Vaidika Dharma or Sanatana Dharma. And Sanatana Dharma, we are well aware, is a religious life of being centered on Ishvara. So, we have rituals, we have do's and don'ts, we have values and attitudes. All of this put together is dharma. Yeah, dharma. But what is happening in recent times is the Shrauta karmas, Shruti-based karmas like Sandhya Vandanam and yajnas like Agnihotra. How many are performing today? The number is definitely gone down. So Shrauta karmas are being replaced by Smarta karmas, Smriti-based karmas, which are the pujas, yatra, japa, and so on. And so now we come largely to that component which is, free and independent of any yuga. That is the Samanya dharmas or universal values, which is the content of Neeti Shatakam. So these universal values, they are independent of yuga. They're widely practiced in any yuga, any age, irrespective of varna, ashrama, gender, age, nationality, like Satyam Vada, Dharmanchara, Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Swadhyaya, Napramaditavyam. Then all these Subhashitams we have Satyam Bruyat, Priyam Bruyat, Satyam Apriyam Na Bruyat, Priyanjanamritam Bruyat, Eshaha Dharmaha Sanatanaha. And then Asteya, non-stealing, Aparigraha, non-hoarding, Acharya Upasana, worship of Acharya. All these are kind of fixed. They are universal values to be practiced. And the content of Neeti Shatakam are these universal values and not about rituals and other do's and don'ts, which may be very specific to one religion and one country. Yeah. And so now these 100 verses are divided into, I told you, 10 paddhatis. Paddhati is a section. Yeah. So the first section is the Murkha Paddhati, or who are the unwise or otherwise. What is the Lakshana? But before that, we have what is called a Mangala Charanam. Mangala Charanam is the prayer verse. Okay? And Bhartrihari was a great Shiva Bhakta. But this prayer it is complete. So we will chant the prayer verse first and then move on to the main. Okay? I am displaying the Mangala Charanam on the screen, and others, please use your PDF. Okay. दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्नानन्त चिन्मात्रमूर्तये दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्नानन्त चिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूत्यैकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे स्वानुभूत्यैकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे स्वानुभूत्यैकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे स्वानुभूत्यैकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे कालाद्यनवच्छिन्नानन्तचिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूत्यैकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे. One more time you repeat. Huh? No, repeat after. दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्नानन्तचिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूत्यैकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे स्वानुभूत्यैकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे. So this is a very beautiful Mangalacharanam prayer verse, and here we see that Bhadrahari is praying to not a particular devata. So you see the last line, Namaha. Namaha means salutations. Yeah. Now we know as a Sanskrit student, Namaha will take which vibhakti? Fourth vibhakti, Chaturthi vibhakti. So all the other words you can see they are in Chaturthi vibhakti. Namaha. So to whom are we doing Namaha? Tejase. Tejase is that brilliance, the effulgence. And that is the pure intelligence or order of Ishvara. And that is further qualified by Shantaya, embodiment of absolute peace. Shantaya Tejase Mama Namaha. Now come to the first line. It's a long word which we need to split. Kala Adi Avachinna Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye Namaha. Okay. So salutations unto that pure effulgent intelligence, which is what Dik Kala Adi Avachinna. Anavachinna. Anavachinna means not limited. Avachinna is limited. Anavachinna is not limited by space, dik, time, kala, and adipadartha. In adipadartha, we will put every vastu, everything else, etc. What are the etc's? Upadi dharmas, gunas, three gunas, qualifications, gender, nakshatram, gotram, nationality, all the three bodies. No, we know that upadis and their dharmas, all attributes and gunas, including space and time, that which is anavachinna, referring to nothing other than the supreme reality, Param Brahma. Deshakala Adi Anavachinna. That is what Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye. Ananta Chinmatra Murtaye is infinite pure consciousness. Here Murti is to be taken as embodiment, because we know it's formless. No? Embodiment of pure consciousness. So now what is the whole Mangalacharanam? Namaskaram to the pure intelligence, which is the embodiment of Shanti, Swarupa Shanti, that which is limitless, infinite, not limited by anything, time, form, nama, rupa, attributes, guna, and which is pure consciousness. That is the meaning of this Mangalacharanam. And one more word is there. Svanubhutyeka manaya. That we will split it as Svanubhuti plus Ekamanaya. Yan Sandhi. Svanubhuti means self-experience. That would mean Atma Anubhava is the Svanubhuti. And that is Ekamana. Ekamana means that is the only Pramana. Pramana means that is the only proof or the authority for that shining, all-pervading, limitless Brahma Chaitanyam. That is really this Atma. Nothing but Mahavakya here. Right? So Svanubhuti Ekamanaya, also in Chaturthi, unto that, embodiment of absolute peace and my namaskaras, namaha. Okay. Now we go to the second shloka. The second shloka, I briefly introduced it in the last session, but we will chant it together again. Yam chintayami satatam mayi sa virakta. 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 Sapyanyamichchati janam sajanonya saktaha. Sapyanyamichchati janam sajanonya Sapyanyamichchati janam sa janonya saktaha. तावण्यमिच्छति जनं स जनोऽन्यसक्तः
अस्मत्कृते च परिशुष्यति काचिदन्या
अस्मत्कृते च परिशिष्यते काचिदन्या
अस्मत्कृते च परिशुष्यति काचिदन्या
अस्मत्कृते च परिशिष्यति काचिदन्या
धिक्तां च तं च मदनं च इमां च मां च
धिक्तां च तं च मदनं च इमां च
धिक्तां च तं च मदनं च इमां च मां च यां चिन्तयामि सततं मयि सा विरक्ता
यां चिन्तयामि सततं मयि सा विरक्ता
साप्यन्यमिच्छति जनं स जनोऽन्यसक्तः
साप्यन्यमिच्छति जनं स जनोऽन्यसक्तः
अस्मत्कृते च परिशुष्यति काचिदन्या
अस्मत्कृते च परिशिष्यति काचिदन्या
धिक्तां च तं च मदनं च इमां च मां च
धिक्तां च तं च इमां च मां च.
So here this shloka is referring to the anecdote which is related about yeah, we saw that in the last. Why did he become a sannyasi? That story, no? This is what relates, and that is once upon a time a sage, a sadhu, brings an exotic fruit to this king, offers to the king, and says, "This is, my jnana tapas is all, contained in this fruit, and I'm giving it to you, dear Maharaja, and you please receive it, and it will make you youthful and brilliant forever." So the king graciously accepts it, and but gives it to his beloved, and that is the queen. Yeah? Maharani gives it to the queen, and then the queen, she gives it to the one she is in a relationship with, who is dear to her. And so that man gives it to his beloved, which is another woman. Sa, it will come in the verse. No? Then finally, that lady is again an admirer of the king, and the fruit comes back to the king. So when he receives the fruit and he understands what must have happened, he is filled with dispassion. Yeah? And then that is the last line. Dhik, dhik, dhik. So now let us see the shloka. Yam chintayami satatam. Yeah? Yam chintayami satatam means on her that I am always dwelling upon. Yam chintayami satatam, always. What is she? Mai sa virakta. She has abandoned me. She does not think about me. Then sa, what does she do? Sa api anyam ichhati janam. She desires somebody else. Then that janaha, sahajanaha, anyasaktaha, is devoted to yet another woman, another person. Then asmat krite ja parishishyati kachid anya. And that anya, she is longing for me. Parishishyati, she is longing for me. And the last line is, he says, dhiktan chatam. So first is dhiktam, is to his queen. Dik, shame on, my queen who is not loyal to me. And then tam, on the one whom she loves. Then madana. Madana is Cupid, Kamadeva, because of which, marriages are happening and divorces also happening today. Yeah? So the god of love, Madana, Dik. Then Imam, that other lady, who's fond of the king. Imam Chadik. And then finally he says, Dik on me. Yeah, Mam Chadik. That is, what use is this love and passion and all, and he becomes a virakta and he renounces the throne and becomes a sannyasi. So this second verse is about the anecdote about this story. Yeah.
But it means
Phi shame. Yeah, phi or shame. No? Thing. Now, a similar story, we know about the great Goswami Tulsidas also. Yeah, Tulsidas, when he was a young man, then he was married to a beautiful lady, and after a few months, he was very passionately in love with her. And then after a few months, she decided once to go to her parents' home. Yeah, and she left. She said, I'll be back after some time. But he missed her so much that he said, no, I have to meet her right away. And he sets off to the other village. Then he crosses the dense jungle and then the river. There's a river which it was monsoon time, like Ashada, like now, and it is in spate. But somehow he crosses the turbulent river, reaches her home and calls out her name and then meets her. She is amazed. She says, what, in this weather, you managed to cross this turbulent river and come and meet me? How did you manage that? Then he says, I cannot live without you. And you are my life, you are my prana. And then she must be a jnani. So she says, if you had even a fraction of this passion towards Bhagavan, you would have got darshan right away. Dik, she says dik to him. What is this? Then those words kind of pierced him with dispassion, and he leaves home and family, and then he goes to a temple and becomes a Rama Bhakta and composes Ramacharita Manasa. Yeah? So we see there are these moments when life brings people to a turning point, and then the karma also changes. Yeah, that's the second verse. Now we are going to see the actual verses on the Murkha Paddhati. Murkha Paddhati, I told you, is about the fools. Yeah, fools or avivekis, you can say, and this is the verse number 3 in the PDF. Agnya Sukham Aradhyah
सुखम् आराध्यः
Sukhataram Aradhyate Visheshajnah
सुखकरम् आराध्यते
Jnanalavat Brahmapitam Naram Naranchayate Agnya Sukham Aradhyah
सुखम् आराध्यः
Sukhataram Aradhyate Visheshajnah
सुखकरम् आराध्यते
Jnanalavat
ज्ञानलवदुर्विदग्धम्
Brahmapitam Naranjayati.
ब्रह्मापितं नरं
So this is all the topic of Agnya Ninda. Agnya Ninda means criticism of the Aviveka, Avivekis and the Agnyas. Who is an Agnaha? Na janati iti Agnaha. So here the Agnaha mentioned in the first line is not criticized. This is the Agnaha who is simple and who doesn't have the knowledge. That's all. Okay. Agnaha. So Agnaha Sukham Aradhyaha. So when a person, does not know, is ignorant of a topic, one can easily what? Teach him. Yeah, make him understand, can convince him, because it is like an empty cup in which we can pour some drink, right? And the cup does not have a lid on it. Yeah, that means there is an open mind, there is trust and there is shraddha, but the knowledge is not there. So that is why it is said, he who does not know and knows that he does not know, yeah, is a shishya, and one can teach such a person. Then what? Sukhataram. Sukhataram means even more easier. It is to teach. Aradhyate hum visheshajnyaha. Visheshajnyaha means visheshajnanam janati. The one who has specific knowledge. It may not be complete, but has some knowledge of some topic, which means what? His mind will be more alert. Buddhi is open. Yeah, it is already sharpened by his own Medha Shakti. So it is Sukhataram, easier to teach and convince or instruct this person. Which person? Visheshajnyaha. But the third line, Jnana Lava Durvidagdham. Now, lava means what? Little bit. Kanika, lava. So, Jnanasya lava, the one who has just a smattering of knowledge, little knowledge, and is Durvidagdham. Durvidagdha means puffed up with arrogance and pride. Yeah. Knowing little bit, one thinks that, oh, I am such a great learned scholar and I know everything. Such a person, Bhartrihari says, Brahmapi tam naram na ranjayati. Even Brahmadev cannot instruct or help this person. Yeah? So this person is, this person is cannot be instructed any amount. Why is that so? So here, this Agnya Ninda is really talking about those people who have a closed mind. If there is a cup and the lid is closed, we cannot pour anything into it, right? So, if the person does not have Shraddha, open mind, is fixated on one thing, argumentative and picking up a conflict, yeah, then such a person, Bhartrihari is implying what? Nobody can help that person. Yeah, so we may not waste our time and effort to, change the person. Even Gita has said, Buddhi Bhedam na janayet. Now, all these shlokas are not meant for criticizing the world. We have to also introspect whether we have some degree of murkhata. Okay? We may also be argumentative and want to win every argument and be fixated and stubborn. Yeah? So that is the introspection that is being implied here through this murkha paddhati. Okay? And in the Mundaka Upanishad, we saw andhena andhaha nayati. So these people are themselves blind, and they follow the blind. So the blind led by the blind will fall into a ditch. Yeah, they cannot be protected. So once again, those who do not know and know that they do not know, we can teach them. Yeah, and those who know but they do not know they know, they are like Hanumanji. Yeah, Hanumanji had all the knowledge and the strength, but he had to be awakened by Jambavan, and then he took the spring. Yeah, they have the knowledge, but temporarily eclipsed. They just need the touch and the Guru prerana, and then they wake up. Yeah, and the ones who know and they know that they know, they are the wise gurus and acharyas. May one approach them. Yeah. And here, these verses are talking about those who don't know, but they think they know. Yeah, they are the murkhas. Yeah, the murkhas, and they, have to be. We have to put our boundaries, and then their time will come. Yeah. So you see that all this is the effect of tamas. Tamas will cloud the mind and cover it with darkness, and then no light can even penetrate through the satya buddhi. Yeah? So that has to be melted, and then rajas has to come in, and then only they can come to the sattva guna. Okay? Let's chant this again. Agnya sukham aradhyah सुखतरम् आराध्यते विशेषज्ञः ज्ञानलवदुर्विदग्धम् ब्रह्मापि तं नरं न रञ्जयति. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. This is a longer meter here, as you can see. Yeah, let's chant it. प्रसह्यमणिम् उद्धरेत् मकरवक्त्रदंष्ट्रान्तरात् प्रसह्यमणिम् उद्धरेत् मकरवक्त्रदंष्ट्रान्तरात्. Okay, we'll do it step by step. Prasahya manim uddharet makara vaktra danshrantarat samudram api santaret prachalat urmimala kulam. Bhujangamapi kopitam Shirasi pushpavad dharayet Natu pratinivishtam Murkha janachittam aradhayet Prasahya manimuddharet Makaravaktra danshrantarat Manimuddharet Makaravaktra danshrantarat Samudramapi santaret Prachalat urmimala kulam Bhujangamapi kopitam Shirasi pushpavad dharayet Natu prativinishta murkha janachittam aradhayet Little complicated, long words, but really the meaning is very, very simple. Yeah. Let's see the meaning here. Prasahya. Prasahya means forcibly, with effort. Prasahya, manim uddhare. One can extract a precious money, gemstone. Where from? Makara vaktra danshrantarat. Or what is a makara? Crocodile. Yeah. So from the jaws, fangs of the mouth of the makara, what? Manin uddhare. One can extract a precious gemstone. Okay. Danshtra Karala, we saw this word in Gita chapter 11. When Arjuna sees the Vishwarupa of Bhagavan. Yeah. They could see all the people, Duryodhanas, everybody rushing into the Danshtra, the Karala. Same thing here. Yeah. So, with great effort, one may be able to extract a precious gem from the very dangerous paws and jaws of a makara crocodile. Second, samudramapi santaret, and one may cross an ocean. What kind of ocean? Prachalat. Prachalat means moving and in constant motion. And urmi mala kulam. Urmi means waves. With turbulent waves. So you can imagine a stormy ocean. One may even cross the stormy ocean filled with turbulent waves. Then what? Bhujangam api kopitam. Bhujanga is a snake. Shirasi pushpavad dharaye. So just as one would adorn flowers on one's hair, one may even adorn a ferocious serpent on one's head. Bhujangam, what kind of bhujangam? Kopitam bhujangam, a very fierce, ferocious serpent also one may be able to adorn on one's hair. But natu prati nivishta murkha janachittam aradhage. But one cannot, convince or instruct or teach or make, this murkha janas see the light of sense. No, we cannot make them understand. No? Now, you see, Bhartrahari's shlokas are filled with metaphors and similes, very vivid imagery is there. And some of it is really not possible also. We're going to see in the next verse. But this is to highlight, and do the Agnya Ninda. And so, exactly, yeah. Dosha, this is a Dosha Darshanam, that there are all kinds of people. See, in the world, are they not people who are more accomplished than us, who are more fortunate? They have, of course, Punya Karma Phalam will be there for them. What should our attitude be? To be happy for them, and then to admire them. And because it is, after all, Purushartha also is there, like the discussion on Ambani's, if some people criticize them, some people say how they support the Sanatana Dharma. So they are doing Punya Karmas. Let us be happy for them, whatever they're doing. Yeah. So that is one lot. Then there are some people who are less fortunate than us. Yeah. Again, Prarabdha Karma only. What will our attitude be? Compassion, Daya. No? Daya, and we pray for them and we can do what we can to help them, uplift them. Yeah. Then there are equals. Equals means like colleagues and friends who may be in the same position, we are on the same page, we can relate to them very well. Yeah. Then we have a friendly disposition towards them. Then again, those people are there who are antagonistic, hostile. That is also karma, in fact. And there are some people who appear hostile and they cause harm. Yeah. What should our attitude be? Ignore them. Yeah. Be indifferent to them. Draw your boundaries. The only person who cannot be indifferent even to these mean and wicked, so-called wicked people are the jnanis, because nothing can affect them and they don't lose anything by showing compassion, nor do they gain anything. So they are very compassionate. But for the normal people in the world, this is the fourfold attitude that is advised. So here in this Murkha Paddhati, Bhatrahari is implying that let us not waste our time and effort with such people who are critical and hostile and fanatic in thinking, with closed minds, and there's a dominance of tamas in them. We draw our boundaries and ignore them, because trying to change their opinion or to make them understand what we see is as difficult as extracting a precious stone from the fangs of a crocodile, or as difficult or even more than crossing an ocean, turbulent ocean. And one may even be able to adorn the hair with a ferocious serpent. But we have to be wary and cautious with this. Now let's do one more shloka, the fifth one. Now, you must have noticed this is all about, the daily practical wisdom. Yeah. And it is not about Vedanta. Let us now chant the verse we have just done so that the meaning will sink in. Now that you've heard the meaning, you can repeat. Prasahya manimuddharet makar vaktra danshrantarat samudram santare prachala durmimala kulam भुजङ्गमपि कोपितं शिरसि पुष्पवद्धारयेत् न तु प्रतिनिविष्टमूर्खजनचित्तमाराधयेत् Now the fifth one, the tone is the same, but with different similes. लभेत सिक्कतासु तैलमपि यत्नतः पीडयन् तैलमपि लभेत सिक्कतासु तैलम् अपि यत्नतः पीडयन् पिबेच मृगतृष्णिकासु पिबेत् मृगतृष्णिकासु सलिलं पिपासादितः न तु प्रतिनिविष्टमूर्खचित् क्वचिदपि पर्यटन् शशविषाणमासादयेत् क्वचिदपि पर्यटन् शशविषाणम् आसादयेत् न तु प्रतिनिविष्टमूर्खचित्तमाराधयेत् Again repeat. Labheta sikatasu tailamapि yatnata pīdayan vivecha mrigatrishhnikasu salilam pipasarditaha क्वचिदपि पर्यटन् शशविषाणम् आसादयेत् न तु प्रतिनिविष्ट मूर्खचित्तम् आराधयेत्. So here what does Bhartrihari say? Labheta sikatasu taidam api yatnatah pidayan पिबेत् च मृगतृष्णिकासु सलिलं पिपासार्दितः क्वचित् अपि पर्यटन् शशविषाणम् आसादयेत् न तु प्रतिनिविष्ट मूर्खचित्तम् आराधयेत्. Last line is same as the previous verse except for a jana. Okay. Now let us see one by one what Bhartrihari is saying here. Labheta. Labheta means one would obtain. Yeah, one can gain. One can obtain what? Tailam. Tailam is oil. But where from? Sikatasu. Sikatasu is sand. Is it possible to get tailam from sand? No. Yeah, tailam we'll get from seed, it's like sesame and all that. But from sand is highly unlikely, unheard of. But Bhartrihari, it is even possible to extract oil from the sand. How? Api yatnataha pidayan. Struggling. Pidayan is with a lot of suffering and struggle and with a lot of effort. Yatnataha pidayan. Then second line is pibet cha mrigatrishhnikasu salilam. Pibet, and one would be able to drink. Drink what? Salilam. Salilam is water, but what kind of water? Mirage waters. Yeah. Now, this mirage waters we are very familiar from Vedanta, right? So, that is an example we saw Shankaracharya will keep on taking for adhyasa, mistaking one for the other. Okay, the hot air or the sand causes the illusion of the water. Yeah, then mistaking that one is there is a pravritti towards it. But here it is to highlight the foolishness. One can even drink mirage waters. Yeah, who will drink pipasa ardita? Pipasa means thirst. Ardita means one who is longing. One who is afflicted by thirst is a pipasa ardita. So this person can even drink the waters of a mirage. Yeah, mrigatrishhnikasu salidam. Then kvachit, and yet another person, paryatan. Paryatan is roaming around, wandering around. Then what does he gain? Asadayekim. What will he see or obtain? Shasha vishanam. Shasha vishanam. Now Shashaha is a rabbit and Vishana is horn. Do rabbits have horns? No. And again, if you remember, this example is given to illustrate the tucham. In Vedanta, we have these three categories, right? Satyam means Paramarthika Satyam. Yeah, that is Abaditam Satyam. Trikaleshu Yatishtati Tat Satyam Abaditam Paramarthika Satyam Brahma Satyam. That which cannot be negated in a period of time is Brahma Satyam. Then Mithya is that which is there but not really there. So dependent, yeah, which comes and goes, arrives and departs, like the dream, like the worlds. They are also Satyam, but only Vyavaharika Satyam. But there is a third category which is Tucham. Tucham means neither Satyam nor Mithya, non-existent. And for that non-existent, Shastra gives the example of a barren woman's son. No, she cannot bear a child. Or can you pluck flowers from the sky? Or can you see a rabbit with a horn? So they are examples for non-existence. Yeah, non-existence entities. So why we discuss all this is to be clear what is what. Yeah, and see, mithya is not tucham. We cannot dismiss the world as non-existent. It is existent, but it is not permanent. So it has got a dependent existence. So here Bhartrihari uses that analogy, rabbit's horn, in a different sense. Yeah, one can even see the horns of a rabbit. Yeah. Now the last line, natu pratinivishta murkha chittam aradhayet. Yeah, but one cannot instruct or make this person understand, this murkha understand, that is impossible task. Let's read it again. Labhate, labhate sikatasu tailamapi. Labhate sikatasu tailamapi. Yannata pidayan. विवेच मृगतृष्णिकासु सलिलं पिपासार्दितः क्वचिदपि पर्यटन् शशविषाणमासादयेत् न तु प्रतिनिविष्टमूर्खचित्तमाराधयेत्. So here this fifth verse is also describing, that it is possible to extract oil from sand, or even drink the mirage waters, or witness, or observe rabbits' horns. Even that is possible. But the murkha jana, who's it's like a filled cup, filled with what? Arrogance and pride, and the lid is closed. The lid is closed means closed mind with no shraddha. So there are seekers of knowledge who can be very critical, yeah, who will criticize the subject or the topic. So then Gita says they have no shraddha, and the knowledge cannot and will not penetrate their minds. So such is the nature of these murkha janas. Yeah? Now, here it is talking about this, aparavidya. We have seen the two dve vidye, veditavya, two kinds of knowledge is there, right? So we have to come through the root of aparavidya first to para. Now, aparavidya, whatever it may be, can be botany or astronomy or Sanskritam, all that, each one is an ocean. Yeah, can we ever know everything about any one topic in aparavidya? Impossible, because constantly upgrading is happening. Even a Sanskrit teacher cannot know everything. Can we know the Ashtadhyayi, thousands of sutras? No. Then in the Bhakti literature, Narada Bhakti Sutras I may know, but all the Puranas and Itihasas, impossible. Yeah. Again, Vedanta also, it is not possible. So Apara Vidya can be gained only, to the extent possible. But then Paravidya. Paravidya, is it possible to know everything about Paravidya? Yes. Kasminnu bhagave vijnate sarvam vedam vijnatam bhavati iti. Remember when Ashvalayana approaches the Guru, yeah? Shrotriya Brahmanishya Guru, and asks that, Angiras is asked this question in the beginning of Mundaka Upanishad. Is there any one thing knowing which one will know everything? Kasminu bhagavo vijnate sarvamidam vijnatam bhavati iti. And that is when the Angiras Guru explains Dve Vidye Veditavye Paracha Aparacha. These two Vidyas. So that is why we recently celebrated Guru Purnima in honor of Paravidya. Paravidya means knowledge of the whole. Yeah? That Tvam Asi, Aham Brahmasi, that's the knowledge of the whole. And that knowledge is complete like the Purnima. You see the moon, how slowly the colors will be added. Every tithi it will add. Then can it go beyond the fullness of the full moon? No. Then it will start diminishing again. So Paravidya is the complete knowledge. So here Bhartrhari is talking about how to gain knowledge, and how these murkha janas, with their closed, critical, argumentative, and too much tarka, they will say, Atma Tattvam is aprameya, not available for pramana, and not available for any of the jnanendriyas, then it does not exist. No? So Shastra says such people lack shraddha and they will not come to Paravidya at any cost. Yeah? So like that, there are a few more shlokas on, this Murkha Paddhati. And then after that, Bhartrhari will explain the nature of sanyanas, who are there in our life, how much vidhi or destiny plays a role. And then dhanam, what is the role of dhanam? How should we, what should we have a very good. But exactly, Bhadrahari will devote 10 verses on all these, yeah, which we will see in the subsequent classes. So now let us chant these shlokas together from the beginning. And here and there, you will be able to chant it along with the meaning. So not only Shabda Spuranam, but Artha Spuranam can also happen. Yeah, that is why repeated chanting helps. So first Mangalacharna. दिक्कालाद्यनवच्छिन्नानन्तचिन्मात्रमूर्तये स्वानुभूतेकमानाय नमः शान्ताय तेजसे यां चिन्तयामि सततं मयि सा विरक्ता साप्यन्यमिच्छति जनं स जनो न्यसक्तः अस्मत्कृते च परिशुष्यति काचिदन्या धिक्तां च तं च मदनं च इमां च मां च सुखम् आराध्यः सुखतरम् आराध्यते विशेषज्ञः ज्ञानलवदुर्विदग्धम् ब्रह्मापितं नरं न रञ्जयति प्रसह्य मणिम् उद्धरेत् मकरवक्त्रदंष्ट्रान्तरात् समुद्रमपि सन्तरेत् प्रचलत् ऊर्मिमालाकुलम् भुजङ्गमपि कोपितं शिरसि पुष्पवद् धारयेत् न तु प्रतिनिविष्टमूर्खजनचित्तम् आराधयेत् लभेत सुखतासु तैलम् अपि यत्नतः पीडयन् पिबेत् च मृगतृष्णिकासु सलिलं पिपासार्दितः क्वचिदपि पर्यटन् शशविषाणम् आसादयेत् न तु प्रतिनिविष्टमूर्खचित्तम् आराधयेत्. So we'll stop with these 5 verses for today and complete the Murkha Paddhati very likely in the Friday session and begin the new Paddhati also. Okay. So now we can end with the Swasti mantras. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahi Mahisha Gobrahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu काले वर्षत पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ